because Burkina Faso, hey there, y'all. Hey, YouTube. We're finally on. We was having technical difficulties, but thank you for coming on. My name is Gloria, Miss G, 50 Shades of Glow. And I am also on with my great group, Africa Awaits. So anyway, we'll be talking tonight about visas, citizenship, doing business in the continent of Africa, and not like big business. Because I want to start y'all off in bite-sized pieces. Because most of the people on the platform, y'all have not been to the continent yet. So I started this series off on how do you get citizenship. But um, citizenship in these countries are a process. If you do want to get citizenship, quick citizenship in one of the countries in Africa, and this has nothing to do with Kenya, I would encourage you to go to and get a pen and paper, because this is a gem. Uh, Go to is OUR, ouraddi.org. And it's an organization that is working with um, Captain Traore of Burkina Faso. Like the president of Burkina Faso is trending everywhere. He is doing mind blowing things in Burkina Faso. Never heard of Burkina Faso till about 3-4 months ago. And he is lighting it up. This African country is basically self sufficient. They don't have any debt to anyone. They're refusing to take U.S. aid. They are not being indebted to any of them folk. They said it's over and it's over. They don't kick the French out. They ain't playing. Okay. They are not playing. So the president his name is Ibrahim Traore, and he is the youngest president of a country in the world. And he is basically kicking behind and taking names, honey. So he's making some things happen, and you can have the opportunity to get citizenship in an African country within a year if you go through the process of getting your citizenship with Burkina Faso. So just like how Ghana had their opportunity, and a couple of other Gabon. I know Samuel Jackson and Luda are citizens of Gabon. So people are making it happen. Hey, Angie. Um, so when we started this series this time to talk about citizenship, citizenship is a lengthy process. Okay. And it's bureaucracy everywhere. It's bureaucracy in the United States, but we are very digital, so we can have things happen quickly. But if they don't want things to happen, they'll shut things down. But what I have noticed, because I'm going through those processes now, that since they are doing a lot of paper, they do have mobile banking. They do operate on certain levels digitally and mobile. It's still not the same as with the United States. Got to keep it a buck, okay? But that's an opportunity for us from the United States that has worked in corporate America, and because Kenya is growing in leaps and bounds in their technology. They are basically called the Silicon Savannah. Um, Nairobi, their ecosystem is just booming. Kenya, this is a fun fact, little known fun fact. Kenya is the only country. Now we have Cash App and all of that as side things. Kenya was the first and only country that functions totally. Now you may get some shillings in your hand, but they function totally on digital currency. When you go to a restaurant, there's a number on the wall, and you just punch in that number and you pay. You pay your bill. You can pay your bills. You go to the, it's called M-Pesa, and that is the digital currency, for lack of a better word, program. And Kenya is the first and only country that operates in that digital currency. So that's one thing they have on us. But other stuff, it's like slow as molasses, just going round and round and round in circles. If you do plan, now the visas are simple. You can do the visas online, right? You can do the visas online, the e-visa. The present president, Ruto, when he came into office in 2023, he made this big announcement and said that he was going to get rid of visas to everyone in the diaspora. Okay. And then 2 months after he came in last year, it's not called a visa. It's called an electronic tourist. It's an ETA. Same thing. It's the same questions. Okay. It may be a couple of dollars less, but it's the same questions. Okay. You still have to go through the process. So to visit Kenya, has anyone in the chat or on YouTube, do y'all live in Kenya? Well, Kenya is about what time is it now? It's about 4 a.m. So I doubt if anybody that lives in Kenya is on the live now. But anyone visited Kenya, been to safari, been to the Masai Mara, put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat. Or better yet, why don't y'all come on the live with me? Come on the live with me. And let's compare notes. Let's compare notes. So to go, getting a visa there is so easy, especially if you are from the US. You just go on. Sorry about that. You just go on and you just go on and fill out the info. Make sure you have your documents, your picture, and your documents, your picture, and it takes maybe 1 or 2 days, 3 days to process. Very, very easy. Very, very easy. So you can also apply after getting a certain amount of, why is my phone doing this? My phone is getting hot. Man, I don't know why. And I'm not laying it on. I don't know why it's getting so hot. Oh man, it's doing the same thing. Anyway, all right, YouTube. It's me and you, YouTube. It's me and you. So, you can get visas up to like 3 years, 5 years, but you have to visit a certain amount of time before they grant you an opportunity to get a longer visa, right? So you can get a visa up to 5 years. So, and it's a buildup. So if you want to get citizenship or alien card, just like in the United States, you have to go through the processes. So you first get your visa, then there's different visas. So let me talk to you about the different visas. As I said, the single entry or the visitor's visa. Then you have the courtesy visa for diplomats and, political figures. You have a 5-year visa. Then you have the joint visa of the East African countries. All right. Then when you want to start to set your feet in the country of Kenya, um, you can get uh, um, residence, a resident permit, or they call it a visa, resident permit. You can get it by investment, and the investment permit or visa is $100,000. So people think, okay, well, I'll buy $100,000 house. No, they want to see, not that you are going to, yes, it's an investment. And they say if you invest $100,000, but they want to see the $100,000 in the bank. You can't just buy a piece of property or whatever for $100,000. They want to see $100,000 in the bank. Okay, so you can go that route. Then you can go the route like I'm going, the retirement visa. And the retirement visa is Visa K. And check this out. As long as you can prove to them that you have a residual income of $24,000 a year, you can get the Visa K. So that is the easiest, but the only caveat with that is you cannot work. It's a retirement visa. Okay. So that's the only thing. You can't have a job. What else? All right. So, and then your student visa. And the student visa is pretty easy to get. Warning. Make sure and DM me, because if anyone's going through that process now, I would tell you, okay, get an attorney. But you got to vet your attorney to vet your attorney. Lord. Okay. What I would suggest, if you're planning on, and this is for any country, I'm just going to set it up, is this is for any African country, or really any country, because the fortunate thing is, when we go to the other countries, we open our mouths, they know that we're from the West, and they know that we're American, and they think for whatever reason Americans got money. We do not, especially Black Americans, not like what they think. Okay. Black American money, white American money, totally different, right? But so you get treated a certain type of way. So you always have to be mindful of that. So what I highly suggest for people, definitely join expat groups, but check your check to checker. Like always, like if someone recommends you to someone that you don't know, like that, like someone in the expat group may recommend you to someone else that you know in that expat group, you need to verify if that person is reliable, or is on the up and up. Okay, because anybody can go into these groups and do whatever. So make sure you verify and seriously vet, because this process, if you want to do it right, and even if you think you're doing it right, it's going to be a misstep, because I'm going through it. I have gone through it. It's you're in a whole different scope, a whole different type of party. So you need to vet people that you vetted. you gotta vet to vet to vet. And even I used to say, well, get yourself an attorney. Go to the U.S. Embassy. use the U.S. Embassy. Use the U.S. Embassy because, from what my experience, and anyone on my YouTube put in the comments, my experience is you have to be on the ground. You have to have someone that is from Kenya, basically to be a mouthpiece, to be, to talk for you, to negotiate for you, because the whatever reputation the U.S. has, you know, people will take full advantage of it. So if you're doing any type of business, um, after you get past the visa stage and you want to start going into the citizenship phase and all of that, DM me, and I do have a recommendation. They are working on some things for me. They seem to be reliable on the up and up, but I just cross my fingers until I get my papers in hand. And this is not just Kenya. Okay, this goes on everywhere, and not just Africa, because people definitely want to put on Africa that, well, you can't trust Africa. No, it's anywhere, 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 anywhere. So just make sure utilize the United States consulate, the United States embassy. Ask them for recommendations. They do have a list of attorneys, and just reach out to those attorneys far enough in advance, because those attorneys stay busy to represent you. So, because the local attorneys may take and probably will take advantage of you. Sorry to say. Okay. So, or if you're not there, they ignore you. While you're there, they worship the ground you what, like they're right there to do anything you ask, anything you want. As soon as you get on that plane, they be like, whatever, whatever. Oh, she calling, whatever, whatever. Okay. So I'm just giving you all just a little tea, little tea. So what else? Okay, so we talked about the visa, all the visa requirements and all of that, and it is a process. Now, just like the visa to get there, it doesn't take long as you have all your documents, you put it in. I know at one time you would have to go in and check. They didn't like send you an email to say that you got a question wrong or whatever, or you didn't fill something out correctly, and you would have to check. But I think they send a notification now. So, but that takes tops 3 days, like 3 days, less than a week, less than a week. What's up? Welcome back. How was your weekend? Are you in Kenya? Where are you? I forgot where you are. Where are you? So, to get citizenship, the start to process of citizenship, of course, you have birth, marriage, lawful residency, adoption, and what is this? Sorry, it's a statement. Yeah, like special circumstances. You can get Nairobi. How you up? How are you up at 4 o'clock in the morning? You watching YouTube at 4 o'clock in the morning? All right, I want you to come on and talk. I got to get you on to do a duo to talk about how fire Nairobi is. Everything that goes on in Nairobi. I'm telling my people that live in the state that Nairobi is the Atlanta of Kenya. Like the things that you do to turn up the apartments, the living, the restaurants is so fire in Nairobi. Like Nairobi is it. So Kenya covers everything, people. Kenya, you have the city, right? The metropolitan city. People got it going on. People handling their business. Kenya, but mostly Nairobi, is basically called the Silicon Savannah. Their ecosystem for like mobile money, fintech, e-commerce is like blowing everybody out the water. And Nairobi is the leading uh, commerce, most successful commerce in East Africa is Kenya, but Nairobi is the hub. Also, there are other industries that they do really well in is agriculture, agribusiness. Okay, like I mentioned before, um, to buy farmland that is very, very cheap, but you cannot be, you have to be a Kenyan. You have to be a Kenyan to buy agricultural land because that's where the money's made, and they want to keep out the colonizers from taking up and you know taking all the land, because when they get the land, that's a wrap. Okay, so the colonizers got to come in and marry a Kenyan chick, okay, to get that land. but um, but their agribusiness, then financial services is big there. Again, I talked about Kenya was the first and basically the only, even though we have Cash App and we operate with digital, moving our money digitally. Kenya was the first and only that has digital currency, and it's the M-Pesa. And as I mentioned before, you can be in a restaurant and it's a number on the wall, or you pay your bills, and that's how they move their money um, digitally. And no other country has matched that. That everyone's doing something similar, but Kenya was the number one and most predominant to do the digital currency and the digital money. What else? Manufacturing, of course. Construction is off the chain. Um, they're building high rises and apartments like crazy in Nairobi and surrounding areas, Nakuru, um, all different places. On the coast is still very it's like a vast difference. So you'll be in Nairobi and you would think, okay, you're in Nairobi, you get on the plane, you're on the plane for no more than 50 minutes, you get off the plane, it seems like you're in another place in time, because the temperature is different. If you go on the coast, you may have left Nairobi and you had on a jacket or a sweater, and 45-minute, 50-minute ride, you get off and it's like hot. When you go on the coast, they open that door and you're like, ha, it's so hot. And it's on the coast, it's just very um, basic coastal town. Most of the transportation is motorbike. Like everyone is just chilling. You see the people on the side of the road selling their food. I mean, you will see cattle walking down the street next to the cars and the goats and all of that. It's the coolest thing ever. So you have that, and then you have the Masamara, where you're in the savannah with all of the beautiful, over hundreds of species of animals, the giraffes and the zebras and the wildebeests during the Great Migration. Just everything is in Kenya. Everything is in Kenya. It's just beautiful. It's vast. So you have those different things. But I just wanted to touch on, what time is it? The hour of power. We had a couple of little technical difficulties, but we making it to the hour of power. Okay, because what power is knowledge is power, and Africa is the powerful honey. Okay. So, what else? So I talked about the different um the different industries. And of course, you want to come in if you still want to work, but really for what you're bringing from the West and then bring it to the continent, be a consultant to really have their systems refined. I mean, would just be such a commodity. And then of course teaching is is great everywhere, and the kids are just fantastic. um so that's just something to look at. Oh, I want to go back to the citizenship because that's what this was about. So citizenship, I believe you're going to go through processes. It's none fast in Kenya, honey. Oh Lord. In USA golly, why y'all message retracted, why y'all do what y'all do? But anyway, so um it will take up to it could take up to like 7 years for citizenship in Nairobi, I mean in Kenya. So it's not a fast process. And as I mentioned before, make sure you vet to vet. But your groups that you are with on Facebook, and you kind of sit back and watch the um the interaction on your groups to see who's saying what and who's regular and everything, to kind of build trust. And you can reach out to those people to get, or just put in the chat, does anyone have a recommendation for A, B, and C? More than likely you will get some type of feedback, and then just verify with that person, another person to verify. But at the end of the day, to really give you a hack and jump the line per se, is to make sure you're signed up with the safety program of the US Embassy. I think it's called STEP. And then make sure, especially if you want to do business in the other countries and you're still in the United States back and forth, make sure that you have the consulate involved in your doings, because people will try to get cute and take advantage of you. But when the US Embassy makes their presence known, all of a sudden people know how to work with you. Just saying. Just saying. So I guess that's it for the day. Oh, cost of living. That is always the number one thing people want to know. Cost of living. Ciao. Cost of living to live in Nairobi. Live in Nairobi, the Atlanta of Kenya, honey. A one bedroom. Now, let me just give you some context. The average one bedroom in Atlanta, Georgia, USA, one bedroom is $1,800 USD. Yes, people that's listening from Kenya, one bedroom, 400, 500 square feet. The average price is 1650, 1,650 USD to 1,800. That's just starting. That's not what the average is. It could be $3,000, $4,000 USD per month. Nairobi's one bedroom start at $315 USD. People, why are we still in the US? That's like 5 times cheaper. Well, the US is 5 times more expensive. $315 for a one bedroom. And more than likely, the one bedroom is serviced. Now, that's in Nairobi. In the center of it all, you can get something as low as that. But if you're on the outskirts, you can get even lower at about $150 a month for a 1 bedroom. Food is about $200 a month. Maybe that's like for a family of four. There's so much food that you can buy on the street and everything like that. Natural food. They don't have to advertise it as organic because it is. Transportation. If you're in the city, if you're in Nairobi, you would obviously, because there's a lot of traffic there, you would obviously get in a Uber. Ubers are very cheap in Nairobi. When you're on the coast, you can jump right on a bike. I've never been on a motorcycle, but I've been on a border all the time. That is the main mode of transportation. And what else? And the utilities, are right about 20, 30, but you got to watch that too. It's just people just trying to make a dollar where they can, but you got to be smart. Got to be smart and be on the case and know. But also to leave with this, the United States is a trip, but make it a point to utilize your default of being a U.S. citizen and getting the U.S. involved, the U.S. consulate involved. Doesn't matter what country you're in. Make sure you get them involved. But anyway, I want to end for the night. It's been kind of rough. My phone got hot twice. My people had to drop off. I had to start this over. But I want to thank y'all so much for coming on. And I will check y'all tomorrow. What are we talking about tomorrow? I think it's, I forgot the name. Um, I'm going to pronounce it wrong. Eritrea. All right. We're going to talk about tomorrow. All right. Well, I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all take care. Bye.